Hello and welcome to this new video by the quirky reading couple. We just found out that we forgot to wish you a happy new year in the previous video, so
here it is.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, all the best, all the success, luck, love, and of course reading joy for the new year.
I hope you get to your reading challenge this year. And in this video we will...
You're not doing
I'm not reading 365 books.
Thank goodness.
I'll stick with 150.
150?
Something like that. But that's not what this video is about. In this video we're going to review a book. I'm going to review Dear Mrs. Bird by A.G. Pierce. And
I'm going to review The Sanatorium by Sarah Pierce. Sarah Pierce is written with an S, and
this one is written with a C, and I believe they are totally different books, but I'll go first.
Yes.
Well, I got this book in November 2021, and it was on my December 21 TBR, but I thought the book was too difficult, so I did not read it, and then I kept on...
Too difficult?
Too difficult, yeah. Oh. Because I had to read 40 books in December 21, and then I thought, well, an English book is going to be difficult, so I'm going to read Narnia instead. Because
again?
Again. So this year, or actually last year, because I finished it in 2022, I put Dear Mrs. Bird on my December TBR again, and here it is. I finished it, and well, the book is about a girl called Emmy, and it takes place during the Second World War. At the beginning of the Second World War, it's like 1940, 1941. And she actually wants to be a war correspondent, but then she applies for a job in journalism, but it appears to be a job as the secretary of a woman who writes letters back to readers of a magazine.
So that's quite a different thing of being a war reporter.
Yes, definitely. So the only thing she has to do is read through the letters that are sent to Mrs. Bird and decide whether Mrs. Bird is going to reply to them or not. And there are a lot of topics that are, they have a special word for it, but I can't remember it. But
naughty?
It's like the naughty list of Santa Claus. But it's like everything considering marriage, affairs, love, or whatever is taboo. So you can't those letters have to be put away.
So women are writing to this Mrs. Bird for advice, and you can't talk about marriage, love, or...
There's a lot of things you can't talk about.
Cooking recipes.
Probably that.
Okay.
So, and over time, Emmy thinks, well, these women deserve a reply, so she takes some letters to her house and writes replies to the women who sent them in, and once or twice she actually snuck her letter into the magazine itself. Of course, Mrs. Bird is going to find out. There are several other storylines in the book, so it's not just that. And that is actually what I really like about this book. It's the writing style is very, how can I put that? It's funny, and it's witty, and it's quirky. And that makes it a good book. I really like that it's about the war. It does have some heavy issues in it, like it's not just all fun and games, but it makes it very light-hearted, and I really like that. But there were also some parts of the story that felt a bit I sort of struggled with them. It was at some point Emmy has a row with William, the fiance of her best friend, because he is putting himself into a lot of danger. He works at a fire brigade and that sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have an engagement party, the engagement party of Emmy and her not Emmy and her best friend, but Emmy's best friend and William. and then the building where they are is attacked, and Emmy is late. So Emmy survives, her best friend survives but gets wounded, and her fiance gets killed, and they have a row about that, and it's a bit strange.
What's a row?
A fight.
Oh, I thought
the
like
British
in a boat,
word,
rowing, row.
they mention like they put it like that, so I thought I would say it like that as well. But
I don't know, I'm an American, remember?
Sort of, no, you're Dutchy. Anyway, that felt a bit off, and I think that could have been worked out a bit better. But overall, it was a really great book, and
How do you rate it?
3.5 star out of 5.
Oh.
I guess. So it was a bit more than 3 stars.
I have a question for you about the book. I see this cover and I'm all about Christmas. I see snow, I see a lark or something with a Christmas hush thing in his mouth. And stars, and it's all snowy.
It takes place in December.
Oh, okay.
So quite a lot.
Is Christmas mentioned in his novel, or?
It is mentioned, but it's not a big part of it because it takes place during the war.
Oh, okay.
But I thought it was a very Christmassy book, but it wasn't.
I do like the
really.
cover.
Yeah,
I do like it a lot. It's very cozy.
It's a nice cover. Yeah, I definitely love it as well. There are multiple editions, but I think I like this edition best. But anyhow, this was my book review. Now it's your turn.
My turn. The first time for me reviewing a book, especially on a YouTube show. So be kind and gentle.
Of course.
I've already shown it. I'm going to show it again. It's called The Sanatorium by Sarah Pearse. I acquired this book while I was walking through a village in the neighborhood of my village called Barn, and they have this amazing bookstore. It's really almost Victorian, you know, with bookshelves with wood, and you don't come a lot.
No.
Yeah, how do you say it? You don't see them very often in the Netherlands. So I just cannot resist it, and I got a gift card for my birthday, so I just went in, lured in by the sense of the books. So my eyes went immediately to the English section, because the novels are way cheaper. Dutch books can be quite expensive. Like a paperback, 500 page paperback, you can pay like 25-30 euros, and an English book is like 15 euros for the same. For the same story. So yeah, I do prefer Dutch books because my native language is of course Dutch. So it makes it a bit easier. I don't have to look up certain words I don't get. So, and I saw this book and I was blown apart by the amount of stars in this book. I will show you in look.
Page.
It looks like the Milky Way. And it's like a must-read for thriller fans. A tense, taut and twisty novel. Perfect for fans of Agatha Christie. Spine-tinglingly good. So I can go on forever with the reviews. It might be the amazing book since Homer wrote the Iliad. So I just have to give it a go. I saw there's this actress, which Reese
Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon in her book club. Well, I'm not a big fan of celebrities endorsing books or something like that. So I was I read the back, and I should give you a small summary of the book. And I was let's give it a shot, because I do love detective novels, and the setting is I will give the summary of the book, because I'm going like from left to the right, from up and down. So it's a book about the main protagonist is called Ellen, and Ellen is a 30-something detective sergeant in the Devon Cornwall police force. And she's at the moment she's on a sabbatical. Her last case went horribly wrong. She's now suffering from PTSD, and with that she gets invited with her fiance to the wedding party of her brother Isaac in the Swiss Alps. It's in a gorgeous renovated sanatorium, a place where they put sick people away to cure from TBC. Tuberculosis.
That sounds like it's going to be a haunted
Yeah, I always had. I had a thing too. You know, it's like a ghost or something, like someone who lives in the caves beneath the old sanatorium, but it's renovated through to a new hyper modern hotel, which is described as almost like the Addams family would went the B&B business. So there are like displays of surgery tools and that, and yeah, it gives us a creepy vibe. So and also it's located in the Swiss Alps, lots of snow. A backstory is established, and she's waiting there for the party, the big party. She is mistrusting of her brother Isaac, which she suspects almost of like him comes murdering her little brother in an accident slash murder thing. And then all of a sudden people are being found dead, and the hunt for the killer is on. So she contacts the local Swiss police. She gets the jurisdiction to perform some basic research, not research in terms like laboratory, but research, police research, and she solves the case. So what did I like? I like the setting. I like the how she describes the nature around the sanatorium, the mountains, the snow, the weather. It's all described very well. Almost at some parts even like it was almost like poetry.
And maybe it starts to get a bit boring if
it starts to get a bit boring because it's the same location, you know. So
there's they're not switching locations, and that is really hard.
That's
as
difficult.
A writer.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Absolutely, especially if you set your story in a not mobile location, so your characters don't travel around.
If you don't characters don't travel, then you make it very difficult for yourself.
I did like there is a spooky room in the hotel. It creates some suspense. It makes you wonder what's in the room and how it is connected to the killings that are taking place. So yeah, I like that. I like that.
And
absolutely.
There's another thing you like that I see on your
on my notes?
on your show notes. That is the description of the first murders.
Yes, it really sets the tune for the book. It's like a prologue, and a guy is haunted by another guy or woman or
person,
animal. I don't know what it is, with a mask on. The killers all wear masks, and that's really gets you in the mood to read a good, creepy, wintry horror story.
Okay.
So,
not my cup of tea.
Not your cup of tea. I know you prefer coffee.
I don't prefer coffee.
Oh, I'm the coffee guy.
You're the coffee
I'm
guy.
the coffee guy.
But back to, were there some things in the story that you did not like? I mean...
Well...
where to begin?
Where to begin? I've read a lot of detectives. I like my detectives keen, smart, who enjoy their whiskey, who enjoy their red wine, who enjoy their music, who have a keen sense for detail. And sorry to say, Ellen, the protagonist, the woman doing the research, is lacking all these things. She is very doubtful of herself. She has PTSD, and from a very sad event, but she's very doubtful. However, she's not doubtful of the people she interviews. So the killer has to be in this hotel, and she just believes everyone.
So she's a bit naive. She's
a bit naive. For example, then she believes Sarah, then she believes Lily, then Mark says something, then the killer is not Mark, but it's Lily. She talks to you.
I get the idea. It's a bit like me.
Yes. Some of the other characters are almost described as mannequins, like they feel wooden, you know.
They feel very flat, like
they fall quite flat. At one moment, the other guests, who are not much in the hotel, because a lot of rooms are empty, it's a big hotel, but the other guests are nowhere to be seen. They got stuck. They just got stuck in this snowstorm, and the police can't get in, and they're evacuated through buses. But some tourists stay in the hotel, and they go to Ellen, and they have questions. Ellen calms them, and she says everything will be okay. And then these other guests are never heard of again in the book. So did they just disappear into thin air? I don't know. Maybe Houdini was in the hotel and made them all disappear.
I don't know, probably.
And then there is, look, I'm a roller coaster guy. I love my roller coasters. I love a good thrill. I love the cork twisters, and the loopings. But this thing just goes off the rail. I guess there are too many plot twists.
Yeah.
You know, at the end there's some kind of thing. Oh, here it gets. There's a connection with another creepy psychiatric ward in Germany, and you think, oh no, creepy photos are found, and then there's absolutely nothing really to do with the motive of the killer.
So that might like put you off.
That might put you off. Yeah,
it's not like
It's not like, whoa, you really had the motive to just kill everybody here around, you know.
Yeah.
And there's also I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it, but it could have been better, and I don't understand the glowing reviews, like so much praise.
That's marketing, baby.
Yeah.
I think. But what is your rating? How would you
My rating? The rating is, well, I give it 2.5 stars.
That's great.
Two suns and a moon.
2 suns and a moon. But that's something I always wonder. If you say like 2 stars, you say 2 stars. But if you give a book 2.5, do you say star or stars? Let me know in a comment, because I'm dying to know that.
Moon. 2 stars and a moon.
2 stars and a moon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you call it that way, or is that something you invented?
Just came like a comment in my mind to say.
It
came up in my mind, and I thought it's funny.
Okay.
Also,
two stars and a moon.
And also the ending is like the evil killer gives some kind of. Well, I do feel sympathy for the killer, in some weird way. It's almost feel like Scooby-Doo-esque, you know. Like, and I've almost gotten away with it if it wasn't for those darn meddling kids. But they pull the mask of the killer, you know, and the killer is wearing a mask, so it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, and...
Maybe see what you
2.5 stars. I will be reading, I've already ordered it, the book The Retreat. It's like the same thing, but now on a...
It's a sequel.
It's a sequel, it's the same thing, but now on an island before the coast of Cornwall. And I love English books about the English countryside, so I do.
Yeah, okay.
I am curious. I'm gonna give it another chance.
Okay, so maybe in the future we'll do.
So Sarah, if you're watching this video, I liked it. I enjoyed it. It could have been better, but a lot of people liked it. So keep up the good work, and you'll get there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we hope you like this video. If so, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber yet, but you don't want to miss any future videos, you don't want to miss that review of The Retreat, then hit that subscribe button. And as always, happy reading.
Happy reading.